It was just about a year ago, like maybe 11 months ago or so, that we gave away an anvil. Big, fat, husky Peter Wright thing, and it went to a young man just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think his name was Jake. That was fun. That was exhilarating for us. I think there was some excitement in it for you. And at the time we mentioned that we thought we'd probably do it again. Well, sure enough, we're coming up on Christmas time here, and it seems like maybe this would be a good time to do it again. So, here we go. This is the anvil that we're going to give away. It's a 160-pound Arm & Hammer. It's an antique anvil. It's a forged anvil. It's sound as a nut, and it's a real ideal size. The overwhelming majority of anvils that you find when you're shopping for antique anvils are between about 100 and 200 pounds. Probably the average, probably the most often found anvil is between 125 and 140 pounds because you can move them around. This is a 160-pounder. It's big enough to do anything, and it's small enough to put anywhere in your shop. I have a big anvil, and I'm so proud of it. I love it. It is possibly my most prized worldly possession, but it's big enough. It just stays in one spot. If I've got to forge somewhere else in the shop, I've got a couple lighter ones that I can kind of walk around and wiggle around, and even if I didn't have a crane in here, I could get them where the work needed to be, and so that's going to make this pretty handy for somebody. I'm not trying to make the case that a smaller anvil is better. It's just a smaller anvil. And there are times when you need a smaller anvil, although I'll tell you that it's nice to have a big anvil. And that Peter Wright that we sent out last year was 340 pounds, I think. That's a great size. But 160 pounds will forge anything you need to forge. This is in decent shape. It's a solid anvil. It rebounds nice. It's the real deal. And one of the things that make it unique is that the base is leftover pieces of wood from our spec house project. For better or for worse, this is just a little bit of the lumber we bought from Garretson's to build that house out of, and it makes a pretty good base. Now, I know that not everyone watching this has any desire whatsoever to be a blacksmith. What? But that's no excuse to not have an anvil. There are a lot of reasons that I think every home ought to have an anvil in it. First, they're useful. You have one, you are from time to time, and more often than you think, going to find a reason to use it. Second, because they're rare, they're valuable. And because they're rare, they will always hold their value. Third, they're a conversation starter. You are going to meet interesting people, you're going to engage in conversations, and I will assert you will make new friends because you have an anvil. And I can tell you that that may sound like the ravings of a lunatic, or at least a zealot. Yeah, guilty as charged. But it's been my experience that anvils are conducive to friendship. If you win this anvil and have no use for it, you will have no problem selling it. In fact, we can help you find a buyer for this anvil if you win this thing and have no use for it. But I'll tell you what, it's like going to the pound and seeing a puppy and bringing it home. There's no way you're sending it back. Look how beautiful it is. Who wouldn't want to have this, in the corner of the living room or by the fireplace? Try your hand at Anvil Ownership and you'll see what I mean when I say everybody ought to have one. Something that you need to know is we've had a fantastic year. It's been fantastic in 2 or 3 ways. One, there's been a fantastic amount of work to do. And there's value in that, right? It's been fantastic that Nate and Allie and their children have moved back up here from Arizona in order to be part of the Spec House project. That's been fantastic. The interaction with you on the channel and the comments and the emails and all those things has been wonderful. And even though I don't think we're deceiving ourselves in thinking that our urge to give back for the things that you've given to us can be satisfied by giving away one anvil to one person. Clearly that's a drop in the bucket, right? But it does still feel like at least it's a gesture of the fact that we do feel like it would be nice to give something back, even if it is just to one household. Like we did the last time, we will select the winner of this anvil from our email list. The details about how you enter your email address to get it in the queue so it's part of the random selection process are in the notes. You can check that out. Everyone whose email is in there is going to be in the drawing again, so that means you've had a shot at 2 anvils. Maybe another one next year. I'll be surprised if we don't do that because it is exciting and it's fun and it seems to be something worthwhile that can be given away instead of just something that'll sooner or later end up in a landfill like so many of the things that we buy or receive or give this time of the year. So if we draw your name and you win this anvil, we're going to ship it to you. It'll show up on a pallet, wrapped up at the nearest shipping depot to wherever you live that we can get it to reasonably. It'll also include a set of tongs, flat bit tongs that I made, and it will also come with a complimentary copy of our Essential Blacksmithing course, which I've got to say with confidence, in fact, I can say with certainty that it's the best content we've ever produced. There's hours of it. It's detailed, it is supported with graphics and all sorts of technical information about how to begin blacksmithing and how to make just a big double handful of pretty nice projects. And if you got an anvil, you got to have something to work on, right? So at least that's the introductory obstacle that'll be out of your way if you decide you want to be a blacksmith, and you'll have the course to watch and learn if you decide to. And if not, like we've already determined, it'll look great in the family room. Thank you for watching Essential Craftsman all year. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for helping us spread the word. We have a tiger by the tail, but we're having a fine time, and we hope that that translates to your experience on your side of the screen. Keep up the good work.